Tucker drives and pulls up.
I thought that ball was hit up on the rim.
Yeah, I did too. Joseph gets the follow. May have gotten away with one there. 13 points and 5 boards for the other big senior tonight from San Fernando, Trinidad, Adrian Joseph. Vasquez. Oh, the iron unkind. Singletary the rebound. Beep, beep. He lost that one on the way up. Literally slipped out of his grasp. Tucker, nice look to Bowie, who goes reversal. That's a 4-point swing right there.
Well, those two, Cliff Tucker and Adrian Bowie, really gave Gary Williams some nice minutes off the bench, and that was a terrific break.
9 points for Bowie. That's a 5-second call. And Lato can't believe it. He talks to Calvin. We've got a timeout. Kiss with a beautiful fall away, but you can see where he came down gingerly on that left ankle. He'll try to shake it out when we come back.
Bring on what you got tonight. You're my dog. She said, keep it tight. You show what I did. You hold, I commit. You take what I own.
One great car leads to another, leads to another. The Mitsubishi Lancer. Hop in. It's go time.
The few, the proud, the Marines. Who does she think she's kidding? You know what she's been doing in Miami. You sit here, staring at a cement wall, alone, and she has the gall to just show up 3 days later, toss her bag in the back, and pretend she doesn't smell like new car. She was with a Prius hybrid. Oh, so now suddenly she's an environmentalist.
With dozens of the hottest cars to choose from, there's a reason Avis is your other car.
The Cavaliers lead it by 4. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, Jen Hildreth, who we've been talking a lot, as have other announcers this time of year, about the bubble. And I think a lot of times you need to look at other conferences and their teams that are in similar positions to those in the ACC. Virginia Tech, let's look at them, Mike, because this is a team that swept the Maryland Terrapins, does not have a win against a top 50 RPI team. Almost got one today against Clemson.
No, I think Oregon probably makes the strongest case right there. And I rely on the strength of schedule. I'm not a big last 12 game fan. I don't really know what that means.
Yep.
But, you know, you go down to the bottom, you got Miami, and those against the two A-10 schools in Dayton and St. Joe's, the Miami, the strength of schedule is huge. They finished up strongly. And then the interesting mix of Syracuse in that tough Big East has the best strength of schedule of that group.
And that Marquette win looms large because it's impressionable at this time of year.
Syracuse to me is the Maryland of the Big East. They've been living on the bubble for the last 5 years as well.
And you see James Giss. Let's get an update on his health from Jen Hildreth.
Yeah, Tim, I was standing behind the bench of what at first looked to be an ankle actually was cramps in both of his calves. He was having the trainers work out both calves, so we'll have to see how those affect him as the game wears on.
Osby took an extra step.
Well, and the thing with that, I mean, you saw him trying to drink, but once you have cramps, that's too late. You know, you needed fluids about 30 minutes ago to avoid happening what he's doing now. So he's just going to have to ice it out, try to get it stretched out, and try to get as much fluid as he can into him.
Sean Singletary was scoreless in the first 10 minutes and 45 seconds of tonight's game. He has 20 points in the last 16:41. Diani rattles one home.
And he's the guy who's capable of exploding. And Josu's played a wonderful game, but Diani, especially from behind the arc.
5 assists now for Singletary. Jerome Burney, Milborn, along with Osby and Adrian Bowie. joining Vasquez. And Bowie launches again. Boy, is he red hot. He was 6 of 6 last Sunday. He's 5 of 6 tonight. He's hit 11 of his last 12 field goals from the floor in the last 2 games.
By knocking down threes, they can keep Eric Hayes on the bench. I mean, and Bowie just doing a marvelous job at both ends of the floor.
And a bump committed by Bowie. And another of the many outstanding moments of ACC Sunday Night Hoops, Jason Rich playing the nylon song.
And it comes to Jason Rich. Jason Rich puts it up. Got it with 4.3.
Hey, Guy Fieri here. As host of TV's Ultimate Recipe Showdown, I see great home cooks face off every week. And now the dishes inspired by our champions are all at Fridays. Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu starting at just $8.99. Give me more Fridays.
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car is the reason you got your license in the first place. The way you felt about your first car. And unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And car is what makes a Pontiac. Like the first ever Pontiac G8 GT. The most powerful car under 30 grand.
I'm Senior Airman Eric Capuano with the United States Air Force. One of my most significant moments overseas is when I have Army personnel come up to me in the aircraft hangar and they come over and shake my hand and they say, "Are you with Predator?" And I say, "Well, yeah." They say, "Well, I was just out on a combat patrol and a Predator saved my life." All in on the radio saying there was an ambush, and because of that intel, we were able to get out of there before things got bad. This is going to save someone's life today.
See more videos at DoSomethingAmazing.com.
Hey, Guy Fieri here. As host of TV's Ultimate Recipe Showdown, I see great home cooks face off every week. And now the dishes inspired by our champions are all at Fridays. Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu starting at just $8.99. Give me more Friday.
Craig Northrup. My team of highly qualified professionals is committed to providing you with legendary service. From your first consultation to the settlement of your home, our specialized staff will be with you every step of the way. Take a closer look at the new NorthrupTeam.com. Your new home is just a click away. It's like having your own personal Northrup Team Cafe by your side 24/7. Craig Northrup and the Northrup Team, your reliable partners in real estate.
Virginia leads it by 4. Next Sunday, the groundbreaking show that combines sports and science returns as we examine some of the most dramatic injuries in sports and talk to the people that survived them. Sports Science examines Field Warriors next Sunday at 9 p.m. only on FSN. Well, 13 seconds after red-hot Adrian Bowie hit a 3, he commits his 4th foul. So he's forced to the bench as we come out of the timeout. Mamadi Diani looking for Baker and turned it over. An errant pass picked off by Maryland.
Keep an eye on Gist here early on to see how those cramps will work coming out off the bench.
Looks pretty stout to me. Had pretty good lift on that jump shot. Milborn not there. Jerome Miense is coming to the game for the first time. Osby tries to save it. Headed for the percussion section. He just doesn't stop. I mean, his motor is always running.
Just so much more active, Tim, than I've seen him in this last stretch. We talked about his struggles over the last 3 games, but he has played like he did a month ago in this game, just locking up, anticipating that shot, and then knocking it off of Scott.
Well, boom, boom, ready to toot his own horn there. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 out of 7 from the floor. He's been very active. Gist in traffic is fouled. Sandwiched that time by Scott and Singletary. Mike Scott gets the foul. Let's go back over to Jen Hildreth.
Well, Tim, talking about Bombali Osby, you know, after that Clemson loss, he was quoted in the newspapers as saying, we've got to look at ourselves and ask, how did this happen? And one of the big things was a loss of aggression. You can really see him making an effort, as you guys have talked about, to be aggressive in the paint.